and welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves of Naarm where this conversation takes place, land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past, present and rising. Today I'm talking to Elia Donati, personal chef. Elia has loved food and cooking since a young age, watching his mama and nonna in the kitchen preparing his favourite meals. It wasn't until he was 22 and in search of adventure on the other side of the world that he started learning to cook professionally. As soon as Elia moved to Melbourne, he fell in love with it, and he particularly loved discovering all the cuisines we have here, in particular Asian and American, which were a departure from the Italian food he grew up with. Having worked in a few different venues, Elia has discovered that what he really loves is the one-on-one contact he can have with diners as a private chef. He loves entertaining through food, ambiance, and the role food can play in connecting people. He's also working on a line of his own products, including a delicious coffee, as well as a project aimed at bringing families together over food called Cooking Bond. This was a lovely chat about food, becoming a chef, growing vegetables, and some really great advice for cooking the perfect steak. Thank you, Elia, for being with me today. It's really lovely for you to come. You've come all the way over to me, which is great. And what were you doing today? Working?
So I'm working as well at a deli. A couple of reasons. One is this year it has been a little bit more quiet, and also this has given me the chance to get into making finally my products.
Yeah, okay.
Because that was the move that got me into the place that I'm now using to manufacture the products that I'm coming out with, except from the coffee, which is made on another side completely.
Okay.
Altogether, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what are the products that you're making?
So I'm making my chimichurri, which is a Latin American inspired vinegary sort of dressing. It's a liquid you put on steak usually. And my own version of tzatziki, caponata, and another garlic one, which is nowhere on the shelves. So until it's out, that's all I can say.
Yeah, right, okay. Nice. And are they based on family recipes or recipes that you've come up with yourself?
So it embodies exactly my story in Australia, because that's exactly like my story. I came here and I started working in the industry and learning from this person, this chef, that chef, and I guess that whole mix made my way of cooking, and so that's how it is. Obviously with a Latin American girlfriend there's also a lot of influence, so that's where the chimichurri comes from.
Wow.
So that's why.
That's good. So I was reading in your bio that you really love food from a young age, and you would watch your nonna and your mum cook and so on. So tell me a little bit about growing up, and what region are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from a place called Savignano sul Rubicone, and it looks like Red Hill in Mornington. It's not far from the ocean, for us the sea, and it's a winery area, so I'm completely surrounded by vineyards, and there's this huge medieval castle in which they make the wine, and the name of the castle is Ribano, which is why the coffee is called Ribano.
Oh, wow.
So that's the story. And so that's the area. So I was born in a place where my friends were far away because I didn't have motorbike or anything. I had only a couple of friends close to me, and I had a lot of nature, and I could make all those experiences, outdoor sort of thing. So that was my upbringing. But I have two brothers, and even though we all grew up in the same environment, with the same parents, with the same nonnas, obviously with a few years gaps, but not that many. I'm the only one that ended up, being a chef, and I mean, one of my brothers pizza maker, but it's a bit different from being a chef. So probably it was me that I was a bit more interested in the food, not just the environment, but definitely the environment played a big role.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because my mom would cook, my dad would cook, my nonna would cook, my nonna. It's very normal. It's actually the opposite. It's not normal to buy takeout. It's not at all. Apart from pizza, that happens. Not really. Also, restaurants in my area never had sushi until I was maybe 14 or 15, which is later on when this kind of thing started popping up a little bit more everywhere. So definitely was a bit of a change when I came here, being able to eat all different kind of cuisines and be in different cuisines as well, learning Asian. But anyway, I'm stepping a little bit.
So did you learn to cook? Did you train as a chef in Italy, or that wasn't until you came
No,
here?
I only cooked at home.
Yeah.
And then a little bit professionally. But mostly I was working with my dad, which had nothing to do with cooking.
Yeah.
It was plumbing and then renewable energies, nothing to do with it. Then I wanted to learn English and do an experience, so I chose Australia. It was pretty far, seemed like a pretty good challenge, and so I took it on, and I loved it. But my nonna found me a job, so 9 months later I'm back in Italy. But 2 months I had been already taken, and I had fallen in love with Australia already, that I was not able to see Italy with the same eyes after that, and I said, no, I want to go back, and then I came back to Melbourne, and I put my head straight towards getting the visa, and that's the rest. The rest is all my process of going through different restaurants, learning from different people. So to answer your question, that was when I started training as a chef, and that's when I started working in different places and also learning from practice.
That's great. And it's interesting because I know, maybe I shouldn't generalise, but I feel as though a lot of Italian chefs come here and they really want to cook the food from their home, so a lot of them just stick to Italian food, but it sounds like you've really explored lots of different cuisines, which is really great.
Yeah, thanks for picking up on that. I appreciate. I love Italian food, but it gets a bit quote boring because you've seen it your whole life. And here we've got different ingredients, different quality as well of some things, so it's good to explore, to change, to do something different, find your own way with the ingredients that you find here, rather than just try to stick to however it's supposed to be made, as if it's a law.
Well, that's right. I lived in France for a year, and I think they're very similar in France with the way that they do things, according to rules and the way that they've always been done and so on.
Well, you must be doing some cooking as well with those pair of earrings.
I know, that's right, aren't they? They're great, aren't they?
Well, I definitely wouldn't ask you out if I was
wearing these earrings.
They look a bit threatening.
These are talking to chef knives. They're meant to be non-threatening. Like I'm one of you. They're actually made by a First Nations jewellery maker, House of Dizzy, and they are called stabby knives, but I prefer to call them chef's knives.
Yeah, they sound nicer.
So what When you first came here and you were exposed to those different kinds of cuisines, was there anything that surprised you?
Oh, Asian.
Yeah.
I had no idea. The herbs, the spices, for me it was, I don't know, like being, like if I landed in another planet. I was smelling this, I don't know, mint from Vietnam, you know, they've got so many variety, so many colors, so many flavors. I was amazed. So I'm celiac as well, so definitely exploring a cuisine that is so much more focused on using gluten-free ingredients was a lot more useful for me as well.
That's good.
So a lot more interesting. And since the very first job, I was already influenced by Asian culture because my English was so bad, so this guy finally calls me. I had to pay rent the day after and I had $100 in my account, and he says, can you start today, blah blah blah. I couldn't understand the rest. I said, cannot hear, because I couldn't understand. Text. That was my dodgy way to try to get a job without showing that my English was so bad. So he texts me the address, I go there, I start, and I was cooking charcoal chicken, and they were doing Asian at the back, and I was like, what is this thing? Like lemongrass was the first thing I saw, and looks like a spring onion, but it's too hard. It doesn't. So it was very interesting. Coriander, all of these things.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first moved here from New Zealand in 2011, and I was living over in West Footscray, and I went to the Footscray market, and I just couldn't believe all of the different vegetables and fruits and all those Asian cuts of meat and everything as well. It's pretty amazing.
But even avocado,
Yeah.
Here is something that you can see everywhere.
Yeah.
In Italy, for us, we don't import much, and if there is some on the shelves, it's really expensive. It's more like a delicatessen, something that you buy every now and again if you won't feel like. It's not something we have on the table every day. Contrary to Latin America, they definitely always have avocado and all these fruits available. It's
Well, in Australia, I mean, that's what everyone's spending all their income on, isn't it? You know, smashed avocado. Avo on toast. It's Australia's delicacy. So you cooked Asian food, so you learned there, and then what with some other kinds as well, other kinds of cuisines?
Yeah, so Asian, then I went to American restaurant, and they were doing slow cooked ribs. I stuffed up a huge batch of barbecue sauce the first time they let me do something.
What did you do?
It was all in American measure units. So I stuffed it up big time, but they sort of fixed it anyway. So, so I was just slightly introduced into that word as well, and I thought it was awesome. And I didn't know anything really about low and slow and all the stuff that they do in America and all of that. So, and I traveled with a van after that. So. Not much cooking, and then I went to Gold Coast to do pizzas, and then when I came back to Melbourne, I was here in St Kilda doing salads.
Okay.
So I started from the very basics, and I feel like I was one of the last generations going through the tough part of hospitality, where you've been treated like a S and all the time, and you mean nothing, and before you can even think of asking if you can cook a steak, you have to learn 75 languages and know how to cook every single cuisine in the world. I mean, they make it seem like it's the biggest responsibility in the world, so they keep you doing the small stuff. So luckily the industry now has changed a lot. They realize they cannot treat people like that anymore, and they give people chances.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Do you think it has changed?
Yeah, a lot. There's definitely always the case here and there, but also people have changed as well. Now they tolerate this a lot less. They know they've got options more than they used to be. So after that, where was I? Yeah, there, and then a cafe, and this was interesting because it was just a cafe, but they were doing a $10 special, and it was different every single day. Like, only fine dining restaurants do that. Like, the trouble they were going through just to have a different item every single day was incredible in this tiny little kitchen. But they are Asian, but they were cooking a little bit of everything, so I got to see so much in there, from basic Japanese, basic Thai, Chinese, so many recipes, so much that we've done in there. We've done quote Italian in there as well, and after that Spanish. So I've changed different things. I've been a butcher for almost a year.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. I think that's a really great idea, because that gets you really, you really understand then where the cuts of meat are coming from, don't you?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
how to treat them.
Yeah. I think a chef that likes meat should have the knowledge, the skill, even breaking down a carcass and understanding where every piece comes from, for what it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to cook it, things like that. For example, one interesting thing is not everyone knows, the lamb chop, the one that looks like this and has that little fatty bit hanging.
Yeah.
That's a lamb T-bone.
Oh.
Yeah, so things like that. It's the same part of the animal, but it's so much smaller because it's a lamb. Yeah. So when you eat it, you think, okay, that's a T-bone. You've got a tiny eye fillet on the side and a tiny porterhouse on the other.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's when I've spoken to chefs who grow their own vegetables and then cook them, they talk about that the level of respect they have for the food increases, and I feel it must be similar when you're butchering a whole animal. You would you have a bit more respect about where it came from, maybe, rather than it just arriving already in bits?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I have seen so many people change because they go through that process. Their mind just shifts. This meal means so much more than the same meal, but open from thing of plastic. It means so much more. So funny you say that. I've got into that as well this year. I've started growing my own vegetables. So I think it's a bit of a disaster, but it's it's a skill I'm learning.
How much space do you have?
Yeah, I've got a lot of space now, finally. Well, a lot, considering I've lived in an apartment for 10 years.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of space now.
Wow.
Where I grow the veggies is probably 6 by 2. It's okay to grow a bit of variety. I did not realize every plant of tomato harvests up to 11 kilos of tomato. I thought they would harvest, they would make, 10 tomatoes each plant. Oh. So I bought 6 plants, so I'm gonna have 60 kilos of tomatoes probably.
But that's good, then you can make all kinds of things, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
We struggled, we tried growing tomatoes at my partner's parents' place on the Mornington Peninsula, and the possums got in, and the mother possum would bring her little baby across at night and drop it off like it was a daycare, and the mother would go off and the baby would just suck all of the tomatoes and drop the skins on the ground.
Oh, good to know, because we got a few possums.
Yeah, so you need nets. I think. We actually never really solved the problem because then, we then we put nets, but then the rats got in. So I'm sure yours will go much better.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully, yeah. And I put them one too close to the other. So there's a lot of learning there, but it's a first attempt and it'll go better next year.
And it'll be so satisfying to eat the
oh
vegetables
my god, grown. It is. And you know what? Like my accountant, he has never done something like that. And the other night he called me and he said, "Bro, you need to come over," because we also hang out a little bit. We like to smoke cigars every now and again together. And come, we bought this spit, we put the lamb in it. Can you believe we went to the market, we got the lamb, we put it in the spit? For me it's normal. For someone like that, it's not.
Yeah.
And the fact that he made it, he turned on the fire, he waited for it, he cooked it, cut it, and went through the process. He was, this is the best lamb I've ever, you know what I mean? That changes everyone's perspective, because you have made it almost from scratch. Obviously he hasn't butchered the lamb and all of that, but that's already enough.
Exactly right. Yeah,
it's so important. And if I may just quickly say this as well, one of the things I'm trying to do in one of my side projects, Cooking Bonds, is to help people strengthen their bond within the family through food.
What a great idea.
And thank you. And this is one of the main pinpoints around which the whole idea develops. Like even the kids, if we believe that if they're more involved throughout the process, even just from choosing the fruits and vegetables at the supermarket, they'll probably be more interested, or a little bit of cooking, whatever they can do, obviously, and rather than just having the plate of things in front of them already.
Yeah.
I think it's a very important point.
I spoke to the French chef Gabriel Gaté a few months ago, and he said a really similar thing, and he thinks that all parents should be passing that love of food on, whether it is just, picking the fruit or whatever, or chopping up some things, but becoming involved, because I think there's some generations that have missed out on just being in touch with the food and cooking food. I think there's lots of people who, for convenience sake and for time-wise, are just buying food, and then their kids don't really get to learn
exactly
that pleasure.
We also are being desensitized, if that's the correct pronunciation of it, from the act of killing an animal.
Yeah, desensitized, that's right,
And so that's why a lot of people are more sensitive to and more inclined to being probably even vegan or this sort of thing, maybe because we don't live that kind of experience anymore. But we have created it, because we want to go to the supermarket and find every single cut of meat at any given time. So we have created that situation where there is a mass production and massive wastage of everything, and we don't see the whole process. But if you've got those animals, you butcher them and use every single bit, I assure you it's a very different experience.
So how does that work in this project of yours? How do you have access to those families? Do they approach you? Like, how does that work? For the food bonds.
So I am almost ready to open the first version of my course, which will be more of a pilot version to give to people and to get feedback and to see if we go in the right direction, if we are actually onto something. We think we are, but they might have questions we didn't even think of. So we will have the course or something ready, and you'll be able to see it definitely on my social media, Instagram. I've got the link in the bio to Cooking Bond, which is a different profile, but I'll also post it in my main Elia Donati Instagram profile. And yeah, like I said before, I want people to bond through food, because I felt like I had that, and I feel like a lot of people didn't have that. And food can, and I know people are busy, yeah? So they get home, they don't have time to spend with their kids, but like my mom said, well, bad luck, that's your time with your kids. And you also have to cook, well, make it the time with the kids, you know, like that's...
Yeah, absolutely. You're very busy. Do you, how do you fit all this in? Because you're also a private chef.
Yeah, I know. Well, we don't have kids, me and my partner, so definitely have a lot more time on our ends, and we feel like we want to go down this path for now, like try to set up our life in this way.
Yeah.
And
so is she also in hospitality?
No, she does help me out, but she has a small business. They do shows and they dance, and she's a model as well. So actually, one of the concepts we will do from next year will be themed dinners, which is something that I haven't seen anywhere, because I'm a bit tired of trying to sell something as unique, but it's not unique because other chefs are actually doing it. So I found this way, which makes sense because I help their business, they help my business, and together we provide something new. And for example, it could be horror night, but you don't just get someone to show up and dance Thriller from Michael Jackson and then they go away. Like the whole night is horror, like lighting and everything. The look of the wait staff, the look of the chef, the look of the food, the look of everything transports you to that. And from the time it starts to the time we go away, it's a horror themed night. And the show's happening, it's a whole experience.
And what would the food look like? What's horror food?
Well, there's definitely some things that could taste really good but look like horror food. I don't know. First thing that pops in my head is chicken feet. They look a little bit...
Well, I don't know.
Terrifying.
They do,
but it doesn't have to be then a menu that nobody wants to eat. So also has to be something really appealing. So I'm still working on it.
But currently, I saw that you cater for like small, so for dinner parties up to canapes for 100 people. Do you do that full range? Does that happen all the time? No.
I just I guess it was me testing the market a little bit, and I have to stay in my lane, and I want to stay in my lane. And my lane is more like below the catering, below what the catering companies do. So they do big numbers, and they do it a lot easier, a lot more efficiently. And I don't enjoy doing that. If I've got someone that I know and they need it and they want it from me, I'm very happy to do it. But I like the smaller groups because I can give more of me, more of the experience, more. When there's too many people, and especially if they are drinking, they lose that part of the experience, you know? And I like it more. 10 people, 15 people, even 2 people, it's awesome for me. It's very enjoyable work.
And you prefer that to working in a restaurant?
Yeah, 100%. I've got that human connection. I get a lot more appreciation. I get offered a drink most of the times. which is sometimes hard to bear because I'm not eating anything, and some people they just keep offering drinks after drink. But no, the whole vibe is so much more enjoyable, at least for me. You know, you show up, music starts, party starts, the whole thing is lit. Is like
Yeah, well, it's real hospitality, isn't it? You're there with them, and that's, you know, sounds like that's what you loved, you know, about growing up with food and so on as well.
Yeah, that's why I think I'm more in the business of entertainment than hospitality, as if.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how many different things are you doing now? Then you've got your deli range.
The private chef is the main focal point, and that one has my name on it, my everything on it, and then I've got my products, the coffee and the products that I said before, and the theme nights are one extension of the private chef thing, and the other one is Cooking Bond, which is the project I was talking to you earlier. Amazing. The deli thing is more of a job that I've been doing for the past months, just to fill in a bit the weeks.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how busy would you be? Like, are there seasons for the catering?
Yeah, it is a little bit. Obviously, no, it's December. It's a lot busier than other months. It has been hard for me to try to understand how it goes, because every year is different.
Yeah.
2 years ago, on February, I was busier than the previous December. So December, I had, 15, 16 dinners, and then 2 months after, February, I had like 24, like on a February. I don't know why, but then this year, on February, it was a disaster.
You're right.
So I was expecting to be at least busy, not as busy, but at least busy, and it was a complete disaster. So yeah, a lot of learning on the entrepreneur side, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've covered lots of different areas in really running your own business, and you're being an entrepreneur. What would your advice be to a young person who is thinking about becoming a chef?
Well, first of all, they need to see if they like it in a professional way, because liking to cook for your friends on a Sunday, it's very different than doing 70 hours a week of only that, of very long hours that don't let you really socialize a lot. Unless you do it in a different way. If you want to be a private chef, I suggest you do it once you are very confident with your skills and training. Obviously, there's always a line. I mean, if you're confident, start. Don't wait until you're a celebrity chef. But not even if you're just starting out, because people probably can tell, and a lot of things happen. It's not like in a restaurant, it's easy to control everything. In other people's houses, there are a lot of things that happen, and if you haven't had that professional training that makes your head so ready to solve problems, you might, struggle a little bit. Yeah. Literally every time I do a dinner, there is something unplanned that happens, small or big. Either the oven doesn't heat up as much, or they don't have fry pans, or those ones they have are horrible, or things like that, anything.
So that's interesting. Do you go to their kitchen first to see what they've got, or do you just turn up on the night and hope for the best, or do you? What do you do?
Yeah, good question. If I know there's a bit of particular cooking process I need, I either bring my pot or pan or whatever I need, or I ask before if they've got certain things. When it's an Airbnb, I know it's pretty much all the times a bit of a problem, so I try to cover myself with a few things. So, for example, if they've got 30 people, 20 people over, I might bring my big wok, my big pot, because I know if I turn up and they've got a tiny pot, I'm not going to be able to cook pasta for all those people and to toss it like I'm supposed to do, these kind of things. But if you forget to do that, or if something happens, you still have to make it happen. So, if you have to cook it in the oven to make it happen, cook it in the oven. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, you have to have those. You have to have that knowledge to be able to work with what you've got as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Or sometimes they come up to you and they say, "I've got this, and that." Also, on top of what you brought, can you make something with it? It feels a little bit like a TV
box.
show, you know what I mean? And all these kind of things. So things go wrong, or maybe the eggs you bought don't whip up that like they're supposed to, or they don't. They are smaller, so you needed more, and so the dough you're making isn't right. All these little things. If you have made pasta dough twice, you might have a few problems that you can't solve. That's what I'm trying to say. If you've done it many times, it's a lot easier for you as well. Also the quantities. Even for me at the start, I used to buy a lot more because I thought I needed more, and then I realized how much people eat, and I can budget a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have a favourite meal that you like to either cook or eat?
Oh, steak.
Oh, right, that was easy.
That is absolutely the best thing for me.
That you would cook for yourself, or do you like going out and having other people's steak?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, both. I eat steak all the time. I'm sure you can tell.
How do you like it?
Well, I like it medium rare, but I think that most of the times, because the restaurants have the steaks in the fridge, I know it's hard to cook it actually medium rare properly, so I ask for medium, and they usually are medium rare,
right?
Especially if they're big steaks, especially because I believe this is, I think, the best trick you can ever do to cook the best steak. Apart from just use really good quality salt and pepper, have it on the kitchen bench for at least 1 hour or 2 hours, obviously depending on the weather where you are. Like now in Melbourne, probably 15 minutes.
That's right. Although on Saturday, an hour and a half.
On Saturday, exactly. So it has to be at room temperature. I think once you've done that, you're halfway to cooking an amazing steak. And restaurants, they have to keep them in the fridge so they can have that, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's harder for them to not burn it and cook it to your liking. And then you get used to the place you go. If you ask for medium and it's medium rare, just keep asking medium. As long as it works.
That's right. And what are you going to have for dinner tonight?
Tonight, it's a good question. Actually, yes, I've got steak, Scotch fillet, which is my favorite cut.
Okay.
Angus, I like Angus with a little bit of marbling. And yeah, that's it. If I can, I always cook on charcoal.
Yeah.
Because it's the best. And I'm trying to eat less carbs, so not potatoes, something green, something like that, and definitely wine. Like I cannot, like, you know, when you go to Mecca's, you cannot not have the burgers, the Coke, and the chips. Like if you don't have one of those three, your mouth is not happy. Hopefully it's not just me. You know, it's missing something. Yeah, steak and wine, for me, they just complement each other so well. So definitely like that.
So great. Thanks so much. Well, enjoy your dinner tonight, and thanks so much for your time coming today.
No, thank you. That was great.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Elia Donati. If you liked what you heard, you can check out all the goodness and some really great photos on Instagram and videos, actually. He's really great with videos. On Instagram at Elia Donati, that's ELIADONATI. And if you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. Now, I don't know, do people read things these days? If you do, and you like to know when new things are up, it's great to become a subscriber. I get to know you're there, you get the notification that it's up there. I'd also absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats, and of course you can follow me on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and Audible. Very flash. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. Bon appetit.